Hi guys, welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Book Syndicate Weekly. I have a little joke for you guys. Do you guys know the differences between Wizard Magazine and the Human Torch? Wizard Magazine ain't coming back.
Oh.
Let's talk about it, guys. This week, Fantastic Four, number 587. After 587 months as a member of the Fantastic Four, Johnny Storm is dead. What's your first reaction, George?
I believe as several people I spoke to, and I said, who do you think is going to die? And all the answers were not Johnny Storm. But when he was presented as the person that might die, I believe the unanimous answer was,
Kevin, Johnny Storm, what do you think?
Well, I didn't see a body, so I don't think he's dead.
Well, you know, look, can I give a quote from Starscream? We know Optimus Prime is dead because we saw him fall. In this issue, they have a buildup of I don't know how many issues. They hype it up in the media. They leak it to the press. We'll talk about that in a minute, how much of an asshole Joe Quesada is. But anyway, they leak it to the press. And then the death scene consists of him being overwhelmed by a big group of like demon monsters. Yeah. Little in the fact that it's a comic book, but I mean, that to me is not evidence that the guy's dead.
Yeah, it's not a death. It's more he's gone for now, and he'll be back later type of thing.
Yeah, and let's be clear, he will be back. We all know it. Let's not even joke about it. But as far as the culmination of a storyline, Kevin, you've actually been reading it the past year or so. How did this feel as a chapter of the story?
Well, that's kind of the funny thing about it is that Fantastic Four has actually been really good as a storyline compared to other Marvel titles, especially with Jonathan Hickman writing it. The problem with this storyline is that, you mentioned it already, is Marvel hyped it up so much that I was waiting for it to start. It was not a big event. It was actually just kind of continuing from what he's been writing. And the funny thing is that you're expecting the team to be together and are going to be fighting this major villain and then kind of see how it works. That doesn't happen in this. Obviously, there's 3 separate stories. And I think the problem is it would have been great if Marvel didn't hype it. If they just left it as is and surprised us and went, oh, wait, Johnny Storm, he's dead? And then maybe hyped it up later on for his return. I think they really missed the boat on this for it. And it's unfortunate because I think everyone's expectation was it was going to be a big event and a big death, and it just wasn't. But when you just read it without thinking about that, it's not a bad story.
Well, you know what? I think this is the difference between a mistake and an accident. It was an accident to leak Captain America's death. The fact that they've already done it, it means they really don't care about us, the readers. They care about the guy in the street who's going to come in and buy 2, 3, 4 copies so he can sell them on eBay for profit. If the comic, and I said this before about Captain America, if the comic would have came out and all of us would have read it and found out Johnny Storm died, it would have been the exact same media frenzy. No, in fact, even if they had the media frenzy about the fact that one of them was going to die, that would have been fine. But by revealing who it was before we read the issue, it shows that Marvel, you don't have any respect for us. We're the ones that pay your bills. George.
That's right. No, I don't know. Yeah, again, like I think if they had just put this issue out, and then I would have went, oh my God, is Johnny Storm going to be dead in the next issue? And then I would have told my friends, and then they would have went and bought a copy, and then next issue would have sold like hotcakes. But, then they wouldn't have been able to do the bag thing. Bringing back the old Superman bag? Come on.
Let's wait for the white-bagged return of Johnny Storm in about a year's time. So that's enough about Fantastic Four, but the other big news this week was that Wizard Magazine, after, I believe, 212 issues, has ceased publication. I actually started buying it with number 1. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, considering, it hasn't been good for 5 years, it's not really a surprise. But, it does kind of, it gets me a little bit because it has been such a staple for so long. How do you feel, George?
I hope it opens up a market for another magazine similar to it. When they did that 2-page centerfold of Joe Quesada's guitar collection, I think that really,
that was the name.
Kind of. But I mean, I still got it every month. Even if it was a copy I got out of the garbage or a month late or whatever, there's still some great articles that were in there. The magazine still had some good stuff in it. I would love to see something like it used to be, or somewhere in the middle, somewhere on issue like 40 or 50, it really picked up. You had the journals of George Perez when he was doing the Avengers versus Justice League, right? And they printed all of his journals that he wrote about over the years of trying to get this project done, like really cool stuff. And, I mean, not that hot girls in Halloween costumes isn't something to look at, but the internet kind of covers that. You know what I mean? Like, if you want me to buy a magazine, give me something unique.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think that's the problem is that this magazine stopped being exclusively about comics at least a couple years ago. It had become the magazine about entertainment, comics, and movies. Back in the old days, you're right, they did more in-depth reviews, interviews. I remember them going to the UK to talk to Grant Morrison and, having roundtable discussions with like Jeff Loeb and Brian Bendis and whoever else. And those were the good old days. Unfortunately, to me, since it switched formats, it's really become just sort of a tabloid. And unfortunately, it sort of got what it deserved. I say Kim Thompson, bring back Amazing Heroes. Remember that, mag?
Yeah, that'd be great. We could see something like that. Again, I miss being really comic centered, and it got so movie centered, and not what I purchased it for originally. So I'd like to see something like that again.
And that's what I tell people that they suggest to us that we should turn the show into more about movies and video games. I say screw you. It's about the comic books. So that just about wraps it up for this week.
One more.
Oh, sorry, George. What did you want to say?
Sorry, one more thing. When you get your Fantastic Four issue, make sure you don't throw away the collector bag. With a simple pair of cardboard eyes and the application of an elastic, try to find a blue elastic. In mere moments, you could make yourself a lovely puppet. Maybe give it a voice similar to a dictator of some kind, like, "Hello, no, I do not want any of you to be free." Thank you, everybody, for joining us this week at the Comic Book Syndicate. And now, we'll leave you with Kirby Krackle.
Up, up, down, down, left, right.
My name is Kyle Stevens. I'm one half of Kirby Krackle. We're a comic book and video game rock band from Seattle, which means we write songs exclusively about comic book and video game characters.
Hoping that the things I do are working to connect.
So it's based off the art style of Jack Kirby. It's the energy that he drew on everyone. All the little dots that he drew on the side was nicknamed Kirby Krackle, and that's where we got the name for our band.
Yeah.
Like me, you pull from the middle, skip the books above.
I grew up in the early 90s, so I think my DNA is made up of Weezer, Foo Fighters, Pearl Jam, Toad the Wet Sprocket, Dr. Dre, so we try to incorporate everything that we like a little bit into something that, people get excited about when they listen to it. Hopefully we're excited about it, because we try to think, okay, if someone else did this, what would we be into, the factors that go into it. So we try to put that in our own stuff.
Both a girl and a fan.
Well, the first comic I ever read was a Fantastic Four #1 reprint by Jack Kirby, and that kind of, again, we became Marvel guys. We both look like Marvel guys. Like, we love DC as well, but that's where kind of the love for Jack Kirby came from.
Comic Book Syndicate, assemble!
Even though it's improbable, it seems that this could go my way. I should take a risk, then like Wilson Fisk, be the kingpin of this day. Then you turn around and say hello, and everything's okay. That night when we went on a date, our goals in life we talked about while sipping on a Guinness down until we drove back to your place. I said we should do it again. That's when you stabbed me with a pin, because you planned to murder me, because you've been stalking me for weeks. And then you shoved me in your house and punched me hard right in the mouth and warned me that I shouldn't scream or you got me like Wolverine. The day to turn out kinda sucky. I thought I was getting lucky. Not cut up in little bits and served up as your favorite dish. She's a man-eater, I'm toast, just like the song from Hall & Oates. Influenced by the Temptations, played on the 60s in every station. I don't know where the song will end, but I don't care because I'm dead. Whoa, because I'm dead. Whoa, because I'm dead. Whoa, because I'm dead. Whoa, because I'm dead. I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. Because I'm dead. Whoa, because I'm dead.
Georgie?
I will sing Point.
Kirby Krackle.
Okay, I don't think you need the mic.
Oh no, but it has to pick. Oh, you're right.